Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is?
The girls. Hey, hey!
Hi!
How are you?
Hey, guys!
Oh my gosh. I didn't think you'd freak out. I'm like so inspired by everything you guys do on your YouTube channel. Like,
Well, I'm stoked you brought a parakeet. We never get these guys.
yeah, he's awesome. I've had him since he was a hand-fed little baby.
Oh my gosh, how cute are you?
Yeah, and he knows recall, but he was having some issues where he would crash into our windows. So we thought we'd clip them like a little bit, but now he can't fly at all.
Oh no!
Yeah.
All right, bud, we're gonna help you out, okay?
Lou, I have that you guys have chop.
Yeah, we're working on figuring out how to make it. That's pretty new to us, but he loves it. Most of our birds, except for our cockatiel, love it. He's really good with like stepping up, so he's comfortable standing on a hand, but like once you try to like preen him or anything, he's like, I don't know how to introduce him to that.
Katie's that way too.
Very high value treat. Have you guys done any formal training with him? Like, have you done target training?
Oh yeah, target training.
So-
He used to know it really well, but then we like stopped doing it for a while, and now he doesn't really know it anymore. And I also forgot a target stick and a clicker. We don't have a perch either.
Okay, we can probably do it just on the top of the
perch is
cage.
like a giant.
Yeah, I'll probably do it on the top of the cage.
Good.
Alright. If you guys want to get a treat ready though,
Yeah.
we'll want that.
Do you want me to click for you?
Sure.
Touch.
And then I usually kind of like reset when he doesn't show any interest in
Okay.
it.
Touch.
I'm gonna pause right there, step back a sec. Let me give you a little quick tip on how to improve that.
Okay.
So oftentimes we'll use a little bit of luring in the beginning. Okay, I didn't want him to step on it, but he was like, oh yeah, I'll reach for that.
Yeah.
And then we'll lure a little bit less.
Okay.
He chews like Barry.
I know.
Forever.
Touch.
Oh, well, there you go. Kinda, I missed it a little bit. Let me step down.
So I started click because he bumped it,
Yeah.
but then he flew. So stay closer to him so he's less likely to jump, and then bring the target stick from here. Yeah.
Good. My hands are shaky.
That was good.
That's a huge reward.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Good. See how you manipulated where the millet was for him to touch? Yep.
Good. Do I reset?
Another second.
Yay!
So now, see how difficult that was for, like, we made a little progress, but then kind of got stagnant. Do something he knows and is confident with now, rebuild that confidence. So just do a short little hop.
Okay.
And you could show him the millet if you needed. Cool. And then run it back down. Awesome. Cool. And then we'll just kind of pause there for a second.
Okay.
So what's really important is when you're pushing hard on a new behavior, or in this case, like he maybe did well, but he forgot about it. So it's effectively new behavior. We want to throw in something easy that's a confidence booster. And I always equate it to like, I didn't really do well in geometry. And so if they threw in a couple of simple addition between, it was like, okay, I feel good now. Now there's a harder one. And it just kind of gives your brain a second to refresh. And so I feel like the birds go through the same thing where it's like you push them too hard for too long, you risk burning them out, or they associate training with like really difficult thought process, and they are less likely to want to train if it's always really, really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So we like to throw in easy ones in between sometimes. It could be a hop, it could be a spin, it could be a wave, depending on the species that you're working with. So that's what I like to do. So go and try it. Let's see if we can get 2 more targets out of him for this repetition.
Oh.
So close to accidentally clicking on that.
Touch.
Yay!
And treat. Good job.
You can get it open. target.
So yeah, go ahead and let's see if we can get 3 good targets. And then if within 3 targets you lose way too much attention and need to throw 1 intentional flight in there, go ahead and do that. And we'll try to get a total of 5 targets. But I'm guessing 3 targets, a flight, 2 targets, a flight, and then we'll wrap that session.
And should I have him see the treat for the first target?
If you don't get a response from the stick, then you can always flash the treat and be like, hey, you remember what you're working for?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Awesome. You're still doing good job.
It's hard, there's so much to think about at once.
Yeah. So on the next one, I want to see if you can get him to make movements with his feet. So there's kind of 2 phases of targeting. The first phase is like, I'll reach to touch it. Maybe there's 3 phases. The first is get them to touch it. The second phase is get them to reach to touch it. The third one is to get them to move their feet to touch it.
Okay.
And that's when you know you've got it trained.
Okay.
Okay, so go try again.
Ooh.
Bird you. Good job.
Okay, so this time I'm going to have, Susie's finished eating. I'm going to have you walk over to this part and try to target here.
Okay.
And so just once he's done eating.
I think he's...
Yep, it looks good.
Ooh.
Awesome. Let's give an easy one on the next rep of the flight.
Okay. I love parakeets.
They're so underrated.
I agree.
I think they need to be sold in the pet shop for like $300 to $500, and then people would actually value what they're incredible.
Good job.
Awesome. And this time treat for going down. Yep.
Good job.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Are you left-handed?
No. I don't know why I switched hands.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the clicker.
Okay.
And you see how we usually lay it on top of the stick?
Yeah.
Hide your secrets.
All right, so be very careful. Hi, I love you too. Be very careful that you're only clicking the instant that he touches the stick. If you remember one thing about clicker training, you get what you click. So if you get a beak and then a foot, you're probably going to end up getting the foot consistently.
Yeah, okay.
So, whenever you're ready. Good job. The widget was throwing him off a little bit. He's like, what's that sound? Cool, and since flight's a really easy one for him, let's end with having him do a flight to you.
Okay.
And then give a mini jackpot if he does it in a good time. So you'll want to click when he lands. Okay. I can click for it if you want.
And reward for going back
Okay.
after that, or you want him to hang out on her?
He can hang out a little bit, I think.
Oh, well, I'm going to get to where you can see me.
So again, look at the body language. We call this end of the session for new behavior at the right spot. We might not get a flight right now, which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't even
I'd rather
It's like, I'm sleeping
Rest
now.
time.
Something that just happened there, she was like, I want to have you step up because it's in my best interest, I want it. And all the body language was like, no. Well, she acknowledged that, hey, you don't have to step up, you don't want to, and you let the bird win, right? Well, that gets a bad reputation because if you have a dog and the dog always won the battle, that's not going to go well long term. But in bird language, you just gain trust and respect by acknowledging that, oh, okay, you don't want to step up, I get it, you're cool there. Now, if you needed to get him to step up, you could show a little millet, and he'd be like, heck yeah, I'm stepping up.
Yeah.
Right? But we call that permission-based training. Do you want to step up? Nope, okay. Right?
That's a great question.
And it's like, well, why not? Oh, because you didn't have a treat? Okay. So if you needed it, show the treat, then you could have got it. But that's a really good lesson of your response to that was great. If we were going to finally critique it, I would say you should have paused right before the little nibbling started. And that way because what just happened is you reinforced that a little bit of nibbling gets you to leave him alone. And eventually that will turn into biting will get you to leave him alone. So just start to realize that when you have any unwanted behavior, most people say, my bird bit me, now what? And we're dealing with, if you look at the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence, the ABC, most people, the unwanted behavior is being bitten. And so most people think, okay, now what? What's the consequence? I leave, right? So that just reinforces, I bite you, you leave me alone. Where what we need to do is any unwanted behavior, we need to stop just shy before that unwanted behavior happens. And we'll still avoid that unwanted behavior, or in that case, we would have been able to reinforce that that particular grumble was like, hey, don't touch me. And it didn't have to escalate to the next level because we reinforced and we stopped before we got to the unwanted.
Yeah.
Because the bickering, cool, I'm totally fine. If you don't want to do something, bicker at me. Because if that's a macaw, or let's put it in perspective, if that's a tiger, you just died. Right?
Yeah.
And so the reason I keep mentioning tigers is that whenever we're working with smaller animals, it could be any kind of animal, humans have the tendency to be like, ha ha ha, what are you going to do about it? Even though our intentions are right, we don't have any consequence because they're tiny. What are they going to do? Like run home to mom and bicker? Like they're not going to do anything. But if the animal could kill you, we're going to handle it a lot differently. So why are we okay with it? It's because we never really thought about it or processed it. So always think about what's in the animal's best interest and what would happen if this animal could kill you. Would you take it out? Could you get it put back in the cage? What if it gave you signs it doesn't want to be touched? How would you react differently and do that? So a couple of big takeaways that I really want to solidify for everybody here today is that when we're doing training sessions or formal training sessions, we really want to kind of plan ahead what it should look like, which is why I broke down, here's what I think we're going to get. I wanted 3 targets, 1 or 2 flights, and then finish with a total of 5 targets. That was the original goal.
Like target training more with him, and like getting his confidence back with recall. I feel like we have a good direction.
Cool. And then you saw kind of how I broke down the spin with widget. That you can do the exact same thing. Make sure that you don't forget that the most important trick that everybody doesn't train, step up. Yeah. Click for step up, click for step down. Those should get treats.
Hi, I'm August. This is my little sister Sophia. We took our Budgie Blue to the BirdTricks Masterclass. We came with a lot of issues with target training, and we got some good advice on handling him, and now we know where to move forward in the future with our target training.